there she is. Hello, hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Good. We are so excited to have you on with us. It's spooky season. You got to be excited. It's Halloween
Oh
time.
gosh. I'm so excited. It's my favorite time of year.
Yeah, same. Well, it's the time that we love to just watch all the scary movies we can. And how cool is it? You get to be in a scary show.
I know it's so timely for sure.
So tell us a little bit about the show because we're about to get to see it just with everybody else.
Yeah, a few days away. We're set in 1989. It's a small fictional town called Happy Hollow in Michigan. What happens is the beloved varsity quarterback of the town goes missing, and the town has reason to believe that there are ties to the occult. And so we follow this, teen group of outcasts who are trying to start a band and gain traction. And so their theory is that they can capitalize on the town's sudden interest in the occult by rebranding themselves as a satanic heavy metal band. Yeah, and then a series of murders and kidnappings and other bizarre events ensue, and they become kind of the object of a witch hunt.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about your character in it too.
Yeah, so I play Judith Sanders. She is introduced as the adoration of Dylan. She's your typical popular, preppy, cool girl in school. She's got everything. She's got the friends, the cool hair, the cool makeup. But yeah, we come to find out that she's really not typical at all, and she's actually got a really dark side to her. And she ends up inciting some bad decision making within Dylan and the band in general.
Yeah. Well, and these kind of movies are fun to make because what you come to find out is that you grow up thinking, wouldn't that be cool to be in a movie or on a TV show, and then you get there, it's not as fun as you think. But this one actually looked like it was a whole lot of fun to do, right?
Oh gosh, it was a blast to film. I mean, we all just became best friends on set, and the music element going back to the 80s, like it was such a blast. And there's a young cast, and then there's also, a group of astonishing actors who I respect so much and in the older group of actors on the show. So I mean, yeah, we really had everything. It was amazing to film.
Wow, that's so cool. And do you have a favorite memory from the set, like a certain day or scene or time that just stood out as like, I'll always remember this?
Well, I think the most elaborate scenes to film were definitely in the church, and those were some of our longest days for sure. Spent many days in that church. And I mean, my favorite part was just we had so many hours to sit next to each other, all of the main cast, and lots and lots of laughs. I think we were all delusional at one point. Yeah, but sitting next to Bruce Campbell for that many hours was just
Oh my gosh.
hilarious.
Now we've had Bruce on the show several times, and he is so
Okay,
much fun. I like his the way his brain works is amazing for comedy.
absolutely.
It must have been hard to keep a straight face with him.
It completely was. That was probably the hardest part of filming the show, is doing these serious scenes with Bruce, and just as soon as we yell cut, we're just dying of laughter. Yeah, it was hard to switch back and forth for sure.
So now do you watch Evil Dead and go, no way, that's the same guy?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Totally.
that's so cool. So because it's spooky season, what are some of your favorite scary movies or scary shows that you like to watch?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm really excited about Smile 2 coming out. I know that comes
Yeah.
out on the day of our show.
Hmm.
So my plan is to binge our show, obviously, with all my friends and family, and then I'll probably be heading to the movie theaters to watch that movie. That was one of the scariest movies I've seen in, recently is Smile One.
Yeah. Well, I've already seen it, and I could tell you you're going to
Really
really, really enjoy it. It's nuts.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of
Look
fun,
forward
and
to it.
it's way different than the first one in like a really good way, though. So
Okay,
fun.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. And then of course, what you're doing, people look up to you and they think, see, that's what I want to do. But guys just make it look easy. So what kind of advice would you give to someone that wants to follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, I mean, you hear actors say it all the time, but it is really just so true, is that you cannot give up. You cannot be discouraged by rejection. It is just a part of it. It is a part of your everyday life as an actor, and it just makes it all that more rewarding when you do finally book a project.
Hmm. And my co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys, caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. We love to ask people their Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you? It may not have happened for you, or it may have happened a couple times.
Where you just go for it and it works out.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, maybe maybe auditioning for this show. I mean, I fell in love with the show as soon as I read it. And I auditioned, definitely made some choices in the audition tapes because I mean, you can really do so much with the character. Um, but yeah, I wasn't expecting anything, and I took a few months before I heard back actually, and then I went on to the next round, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough and interesting business, but you can navigate it well. But you have to stay in the right mindset, and we talk about that on the show. Is there something that you keep in mind that keeps you on the right path, even when things are tough?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to have a reason for doing everything that you do. This being an actor is great, but the reason why I do it is because I love storytelling and I want to tell stories that mean something to me. And I know this show might not immediately be the best example of that just because it is so fun and crazy. And I guess there's not a really deep meaning to it right off the bat. But I mean, I think there is. There is a lot of parallels to what we see today and the relationships that you see on the show. There's just so much to it. But I just think you have to have a love for acting and storytelling and not, all the glamour that comes along with it.
Hmm. Well, of course, there's always the bug that bites us. Was there a movie or TV show that you saw that you kind of just looked at the screen and went, "Yeah, that's what I want to do."
I mean, yeah, there's so many projects I would love to be a part of, but I guess I never really got that bug bite in the
Mhm.
traditional sense of an actor, growing up always wanting to be an actor. It kind of happened by accident for me. I was at the mall on my ninth birthday and I got approached by someone scouting for actors, and yeah, I had never considered that, thought of that before. I was 9 years old. I mean, sure, it sounded cool to me and I just fell into it and I ended up loving it.
Yeah, seems scary now. Just someone coming up to you in the mall. Hey, you want to be in? Like, no, no.
Yeah, my parents were definitely a little skeptical. I'm actually really surprised they even let me do that.
Well, of course, now we have social media where anybody can approach us, which is also a whole nother bit about acting
Yeah.
that you have to deal with. And so, how do you navigate that as well?
Yeah, it's tough. It's made things easier in some ways, but then also harder in other ways. You can audition for anything now. I mean, you can pretty much just send in a tape. I mean, auditions used to be in person. You used to have to be invited and actually get the audition. Nowadays, a lot of the times you could just send in a tape, and that makes it easier, because you have more exposure to different projects, but it also makes it harder because the competition is 10 times as big.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's a lot more opportunity, but a lot more competition.
Yeah. So, what else do you have coming up that we need to know about?
Well, I guess we'll just have to stay tuned for now.
Yeah. And is
But
there any?
hopefully a season two.
I know that sounds great. Is there anything else that you're working on? Any kind of events or charities or anything else we need to know about?
Nothing at the moment, but definitely
Good.
going to be ramping up soon for sure.
Ah, that's so cool. Well, we're so excited about the show and for everything that you got going on. It's a really, really great time. And it's spooky season. So we're gonna tell everyone to check it out. Really appreciate your time and looking forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.